Hello, beautiful people. I'm Bonnie Gillespie, and I am obsessed with Periscope, and hopefully you're about to be as well. I'm going to show you some quick and dirty tips that I think make the Periscope experience pretty freaking awesome. I am in Periscope right now, as you can see, and this is of the people that I follow, what's going on live. And there's the one video from people that I'm following that is currently live streaming right this second. So 70, nope, sorry, not 70, 10, now 9 people are watching live what's going on there, and I could tap into it if I wanted to watch as well. Let's go ahead and see what's up, and it'll announce that I have come into the room to see Greg's show. And what I can do while Greg is broadcasting is I can deliver hearts to him. There's Greg. I can deliver hearts by hitting on the screen.
Hi, Bonnie. Nice to see you.
And so, of course, the right thing to do is say, hi, Greg.
Anything you would like to say to all the people? I just want to say...
Okay, so because I was welcomed, of course, I'm going to say hi back, and I'm going to show him that I'm putting out some hearts. The hearts match the color of my avatar. I'm going to turn down the volume on this now so that my volume's not competing with his. But anyway, Greg is live broadcasting now. There's 20 people online watching this, and probably more through the web link if he tweeted this, which is something that is great to do if you know you're broadcasting something that you want more than just your followers to be able to see, because we could watch through a web link if we happen to see the tweet in time, even if we're not on Periscope. That's fantastic. All right, so if I were not following Greg and had happened upon this because he just showed up in the global list, which I'll show you in a moment, all I have to do is swipe right. And through a swipe right, I can see what the title of this video is and where it's being shot, if he has location enabled. And then I can also see his profile. And it has a blue check in there because I'm already following him. But if I weren't, it would give me the opportunity to add that blue check right there. I can also share broadcast. Sharing broadcast is great because if you're seeing something that inspires you and you want to tell your followers that they should see it too, this actually puts it into their stream of what's live right now. So if I hit share broadcast, I have the option of sharing with specific people or with all my followers, and I'm going to share it with all my followers. He's going to get a notification on screen that I just did that, and he's probably going to thank me for it. And then that's telling the people that I'm following, I'm finding this interesting, why don't you come join me in this room? This is a great way to help grow your following and to share with people that are following you things that you find interesting, because maybe they will too. I can also see who's watching live right now, including myself, and how many hearts have been given. Now, you don't have to give hearts. Let me turn Greg up again. He's talking about Irish whiskey. Any other questions before I say goodbye? He's doing his sign off. You know, I don't have to give him hearts, but if you're enjoying what you're watching, you should just tap a few times and it gives a few hearts that match the color of your avatar, and that's a really nice way to show a little love. The cool thing is I can go back to stored broadcasts from people that I follow. Like here, Amber did SoCal prom prep and pictures, and she even put little icons with her emojis. It's very smart. You notice the one right above it from Leah on a boat in the Mississippi River is grayed out. That means she only broadcast it live and did not store it. And this is a setting along with your location that you can determine before you go live. You can also determine whether or not you want to allow comments, because if you got a lot of haters and you're not really interested in what people have to say, or if you're doing something where you're not going to be able to interact and talk to the people who are leaving comments, you're kind of rude if they don't know that that's the deal. But maybe if you're someplace where you have to stay quiet and you just want to show what's going on around you, maybe you turn off comments so that people can't leave them. But let's go look at Amber's video. You see there, it ended 2 hours ago. It shows that I am following her, which is why this showed up in my list of things I could watch. It has no replay views, but it was viewed 39 times, or it was viewed by 39 people live, and it only got 32 hearts. We're going to fix that right now, because even though we're watching it in replay, getting ready for prom. Oh my gosh, it's so excited. LA prom, it's great. I'm going to hit my hearts right there on the screen. Even though I'm watching in replay, I am able to give hearts. I can also see who joined in and watched this when it was taking place live, which of course I don't show up on this list because I'm watching the replay. And then I X out of it to leave. Same as with the Greg broadcast, which I actually should have shown you while I'm in there. I could, while watching, so I'll do it now. While watching, I can swipe right and follow her and see the stats and share. No, I cannot share this because it is not live. So that is the only option that I have once I'm in there. So here's what we're going to do right now is I am going to Periscope. Always name your video. Otherwise, it just shows up as untitled. Periscope tutorial. Sure, why not? Nothing fancy. And I can, you see these little icons here, I can choose, do I want to tweet this to my followers? Do I want to allow comments or not? Do I want to lock it down? And then, of course, the location services, which I always have turned off because nobody needs to know what hell street I'm on. I'm going to start my broadcast, and now I am on live, and it's telling me this, and I have 0 viewers. Wham, wham, wham. So I am, hello, doing a Periscope tutorial, which if I turn this around to my webcam, I can then say, oh, this is a tutorial that I'm doing for Periscope using my webcam, and thank you for joining me to help show how this works. So these are people who are coming on board watching live as I'm doing this tutorial, and I'm shooting myself, and we're up to 13 people, and if anybody's interested in what they're seeing, they float me some hearts. Look at that. As if on cue for the tutorial. Thank you so much for those hearts. That's helping a great deal as we're showing this tutorial. So what anyone who's viewing right now could do is that same swipe right that I showed you guys when we were looking at Greg's and at Amber's, and then if they're not currently following me, they can choose the option to follow there or to push this out in front of their followers if they're interested enough in what they are seeing. Love the hearts. That's great. Pretty. Yay. Thank you for the hearts. That's so helpful, Allison. I really appreciate it. Okay, so that's it for the tutorial part that is including the live broadcast. To stop it, just swipe down. Let's try it again. Swipe down. And again, I will try it once more because apparently I am having all sorts of trouble with that. Swipe down and I can stop the broadcast. I can also turn around my camera at that point if I wanted it to be the one on me instead of the one out there. Now, this is very important. Uploading for replay, because I chose that this would be archived, I need to let this process take the time that it's going to take. If I don't do this, I learned this the hard way. If I'm impatient and leave the app, it actually doesn't store correctly, and then people think they can watch it and they can't, and that's very disappointing for your viewers. It is saving to the camera roll, or it has already saved to my local camera roll, which is great. The comments and the hearts do not save to your photo roll. Please make sure you empty your photo roll often, because if you don't, you are going to use up all your storage space on your iPhone, and this is already a huge space user and battery killer. So just as a person who learned the hard way, if you are new to using this and you're not used to using such memory hogs and battery hogs, start changing how often you are charging things and looking into the storage space that could fill up. So anyway, this also gives me my stats right away. I have 100% retention, 31 total viewers, and the duration of this video was 1 minute and 14 seconds. No replay viewers yet because it's still saving, but I can find out who my 31 live viewers were, and I got 14 hearts during the live broadcast, and it shows who was giving me hearts as I scroll through here, and then there's 16 more live viewers. Now, if when I'm saving this to my camera roll at Periscope, I don't want the chat to be visible, I can delete it. So if I had some creepers, or if all it was show us your boobs, show us your boobs, show us your boobs, which, oh my God, get a new line, I can delete the chat if I think that it's not necessary to store. And then I can delete the replay in its entirety. So for me, I have my default setting to always record, and then I can choose to delete the replay if I don't think it needs to be stored later. So now that I X out of that, if we go into Periscope, you will see my tutorial is listed as the most recent of 60 items that I have to watch. These eventually do fall off the screen, but they are saved on your own camera roll. So if you did something that was really fantastic, you can, of course, then upload it to YouTube or wherever else, like I'm going to do with this one that I'm shooting through my webcam so that folks can see what I do in using Periscope. So I've hit on the People tab right here, and this shows me my profile. Dun, 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 and how many I'm following, and how many are following me, and how many are blocked. And through this, I can also take care of my settings, which is important if you want things to be like getting notifications, or if you want to auto-save your broadcast, which is what I was telling you I like to use. This uses the same bio from Twitter, except it doesn't have as much room without scrolling, so it actually loses the last line of my bio unless I scroll. So you may want to rethink your Twitter bio if you are heavy-hitting on Periscope. But what I enjoy doing is when I get a new follower, I'll go through after this loads, it's going to take a minute, I will go through and say like, okay, here's someone who's following me. Let me, see if he's got anybody interesting that follows him or that he follows that I might be interested in checking out. And then I can see, what do we have in common? And are there any people that I didn't realize were Periscoping that maybe I should check out? And so I just do this every now and then. And then I also weed through the people that I'm following because I follow some people who never broadcast. And I want this to be a place where I get to see cool stuff that's going on all over the world and with people that I find interesting. So I will cull my follow list every now and then, just sort of like I do on Twitter, that if I've decided to follow someone because I think they're interesting and then they never tweet, I'm like, well, then what's the point? That's clutter. And for me, I would prefer not to have it. That is my quick and dirty on Periscope, with which I am obsessed. It is day 3 of my use of it, so I'm sure I will learn a lot more, but I've been really excited about what I'm seeing in terms of brand building and people getting out there and doing some micro vlogging and sharing with folks all over the world the kinds of things that get them excited and that let us know as buyers what it is that we're experiencing outside just the actor experience. This is also really great for musicians. I've seen people go like, I'm just gonna pick up the guitar and noodle on some things for a minute, and then people get excited, go, where can I buy your EP? It's fantastic. The reach potential is spectacular. So as always, I'm a big fan of lurk then lead. Study what other people are doing, decide, yep, I get it, and then jump in there and show them how it's done. But it's still really early in a Periscope landscape. I started to say a Periscape, which would be a Periscope landscape. I kind of like that mashup. I'll take it. I'll add it to my collection. And this is a great place to engage in brand prov. One of my favorite people to follow is a guy named Emerson Collins, who does an Ask Me Anything pretty much every day. And the questions fly at him so fast, and he is ridiculously good at having troll blindness, which means he just never sees the hate questions. He has some really good fast comebacks that clearly he has practiced over time because he gets some of the same feedback over and over again. And so there are some of the trolls that he will deal with if they've set him up for a really great punchline, which is fantastic for his brand. And he's so well versed on so many topics that he can just riff on anything. And I think that's actually a really beautiful skill for anybody in the entertainment industry looking to have better reach in an on-brand way through their brand prov and in front of buyers. So great opportunity. Grab your name if nothing else. Even if you're like, I don't know if I'm going to be down with Periscope, go get your name so nobody else can, because that is very important. All right. I will see you on Periscope. Bloop, 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 bloop. Mwah.